Hello, this is Max. Today, I will tell you a story about a wealthy husband and his unfaithful wife, and how the husband dealt with her lovers. You can subscribe to the channel after watching. It helps us a lot in realizing the content. After his morning workout, Vic's wife, Melinda, gives him a strange look before heading upstairs, while Vic goes to another room. Later, their daughter, Trixie, plays a nursery rhyme that irritates Melinda, even though the babysitter arrives and tries to turn off the music. Trixie continues to play the song, knowing it upsets her mother. Upstairs, Melinda asks Vic's opinion on her outfit for the soiree, but he simply tells her she looks beautiful in whatever she wears. As he helps her with her heels, she expresses her love for him, but he does not reciprocate. During the soiree, Vic and Melinda share with their friends that they let Trixie decide on attending a public school. When asked about college competition, Vic believes Trixie is brilliant but thinks sending her to college might not be the best decision. Vic later observes Melinda with a young man named Joel, and he becomes suspicious when they are seen making out. Melinda notices her husband watching them and stops. A concerned friend named Mary talks to Vic about Melinda and Joel getting together so quickly. Melinda then invites Vic to dance, but he declines, thinking it might ruin her evening, and she leaves with Joel. Mary reveals to Vic that Melinda invited Joel and wonders if they are intimate, but Vic isn't bothered by it. Later, Vic finds a drunk Melinda playing the piano and watches her fondly. Joel thanks Vic for allowing him to see Melinda and implies most husbands would be jealous. Vic mentions Martin McRae's disappearance and hints that Martin dated Melinda, suggesting he might have killed him. Joel is concerned and thinks it's not a funny joke, but Vic insists they were not friends and dismisses Joel's worries. Melinda notices Joel storming off, and as they head home, she asks Vic what they talked about, but he avoids the question. Melinda believes Vic said something as Joel acted differently afterward. At home, Melinda starts undressing in front of the babysitter, and Vic blocks her view, causing Melinda to get angry and rush to the bedroom. In bed, Vic helps Melinda change clothes and comments on her choice of partner, suggesting she should have picked someone more intelligent. Melinda admits that Joel might not be smart, but he allows her to enjoy herself, which arouses her. Despite this revelation, Melinda tells Vic to leave and closes the door. Vic finds solace in his snail farm, deep in thought. The next day, Trixie is working on her science experiment, and Melinda teases her that she will be like her father, who supposedly builds bombs. Trixie defends Vic, saying he works with computer chips, not bombs. After Vic drops Trixie off at school, he meets a neighbor, Kristen, who jokingly refers to the rumor about him murdering Martin. Vic assures her it's just a joke, although the rumor seems to have spread around town. Grant advises Vic to control Melinda, as she has been flaunting her lovers to everyone. Melinda confronts Vic about his threat to Joel, expressing her emotions about Martin's death. She insists that Vic should apologize to Joel, whom she invited to dinner on Friday. Vic dreads the dinner. On Friday, Joel arrives, and Vic initially makes a joke about it being just the two of them, but he later clarifies it's not true. Vic introduces Joel to Trixie as her mother's friend, comparing him to Martin McRae. During dinner, Trixie watches Joel closely, and Melinda grabs Vic's grilled cheese, claiming she doesn't like lobster bisque. They banter about past restaurant experiences. Joel goes to the restroom feeling uneasy. Melinda unexpectedly asks Trixie to go to bed and asks Vic to read her bedtime stories. Trixie later expresses her confusion about Melinda's behavior around others and admits she doesn't like Joel. Vic becomes jealous when he sees Melinda having fun with Joel and tries to ruin their moment. Alone with Vic, Joel asks if he'll apologize for the threat, but Vic refuses and even claims responsibility for Martin's death with a hammer. Vic eventually forces Joel to leave, calling an Uber for him. Later, the family meets a noir writer named Don Wilson and his wife, Kelly, at a party. Vic reveals that he is retired from work, and Melinda adds that he invented a computer chip for warfare. Don criticizes the ethics of such technology. Later, Vic asks Kelly to dance, which surprises everyone since Vic doesn't usually dance at parties. On the way home, Melinda becomes jealous of Vic's interaction with Kelly and tries to provoke him, leading to an intimate encounter between the couple. The next day, Vic gets a call about insufficient funds in Melinda's account, linked to a check issued to Charlie Delisle for piano lessons. Vic investigates and finds Charlie performing at a lounge. Melinda sits close to Charlie, unaware of Vic watching them. Vic finds Melinda's wedding ring at home and learns that Martin's body was found, shot to death. Upon Melinda's return, Vic informs her about Martin's discovery, and she doubts his sincerity in apologizing. Vic and Trixie get a dog the following day. As they head home, Trixie expresses concerns about her mom. Vic consoles her, mentioning her mom's grief over a friend's death. He spots Charlie carrying flowers and later finds those flowers at their home, which angers him. Vic goes out to spy on Charlie at the Oak Tree Lounge, learning about Charlie's so-called piano lessons with Melinda. At home, while relaxing at his snail farm, Vic's mind wanders to Melinda and Charlie. The next morning, Melinda isn't in bed. When she sneaks in, Vic confronts her about her absence and a check to Charlie. Melinda teases him, prompting Vic to ask about her relationship with Charlie. They argue about their commitment, with Melinda challenging Vic's passion for her. At a pool party, Melinda showcases Charlie, pushing him to play the piano. Despite the tension, Melinda provocatively dances with Vic. In the evening, Vic sees them secluded in a room. Later, Vic spies on Melinda and Charlie by the pool. When it starts raining, Vic remains, confronting Charlie. Soon after, a shocking scene unfolds. Charlie is found dead in the pool. Accusations fly, with Melinda blaming Vic. The police investigate, and Vic defends himself, insisting he had no role in Charlie's death. After the traumatic event, Melinda blames Vic, implying he killed for her. Haunted by memories, Vic notices he's being followed. After dropping off Trixie, he's met by Kelly, who shares suspicions about him regarding Charlie's death. Vic invites the accusers to his house. During the visit, Vic warns Don against false claims while fixing the ceiling with a drill. When challenged to take a lie detector test, Vic agrees. The following day, Vic spots the car that had been tailing him parked near a diner. Noticing a camera inside, he believes he's under surveillance. He then finds Melinda in the diner and sits with her. She introduces him to David, a psychotherapist. Vic jests about Melinda having schizophrenia, but David corrects him. Skeptical, Vic asks David for a business card, which the latter doesn't provide. Later, Vic confronts Don at his home, accusing him of hiring David to spy, showing evidence of a financial transaction between Melinda and Don. This upsets Kelly, who tries to apologize, but Don prevents her, showing disdain for Vic. Soon, Vic observes Melinda with a man named Tony and discreetly tails them, suspicious of their relationship. At home, Trixie asks her dad about the rumored drowning of Charlie. While he doesn't confirm it, Trixie believes he's guilty. Vic warns her about the consequences of such an accusation and urges her to keep their conversation private. Later, Vic eavesdrops on Melinda discussing a trip to Brazil with someone, mentioning Trixie would adjust. Hearing Melinda express love for the person on the line, Vic's anger swells. The following morning, Vic tries to discuss the call with Melinda, but she avoids the topic. Soon after, Tony visits Vic's snail farm to meet Melinda. While awaiting her, Tony explains his work on sustainable living environments for future generations. When Melinda appears, she introduces Tony as her ex-boyfriend, brushing off any implications and implying Vic is indifferent to her past. Tony empathizes with Vic, acknowledging Melinda's unpredictable nature but praising her uniqueness. During a conversation about dinner, Tony suggests using the snails as an ingredient. Vic informs him that snails need to be starved to rid them of toxins before consumption. That evening, Vic observes Melinda and Tony growing closer, his frustration mounting. In a subsequent encounter, Vic beckons Tony to join him for a drive, claiming Melinda has requested they visit a construction site. Tony, although wary, gets into the car. Vic drives recklessly to a secluded forest path. Upon arriving, Tony expects Melinda to be there, but Vic suddenly hits him with a stone. Bleeding and fearful, Tony begs for mercy, but Vic strikes again, causing him to tumble down a cliff. Ensuring Tony is dead, Vic drags his body to the depths of the gorge. He binds Tony's corpse with a stone and sinks it in the water after pocketing his wallet. Back home, Vic converses with Melinda about Tony, acting as if all is normal. At dinner, he raises a toast to life with Trixie. As Melinda expresses concern for Tony's absence, Vic feigns ignorance of his whereabouts. Later, while organizing photos in his study, he joins his family to hear about an upcoming gorge picnic. During the outing, Melinda ponders aloud why Vic remains loyal to her. She grows closer, igniting a passionate moment between them. As a gesture of love, Vic gives her a photo album of her pictures, eliciting a warm response. However, the mood shifts when Vic notices Tony's body resurfacing from the water. As they leave, Melinda remembers her forgotten scarf, but Vic assures her he'll retrieve it the following day. That evening, Melinda asks Vic to join her in her bedroom. Their shared affectionate words lead to a romantic moment between them. Come dawn, Vic hurries to the gorge, while Melinda, searching for him at his snail farm, discovers Tony's wallet. At the gorge, as Vic uses a stick to push Tony's body underwater, he's caught off guard by Don's presence. Vic claims he's looking for Melinda's misplaced scarf, but Don reveals he's found it. When Tony's body emerges, Don panics and flees to his car, with Vic pursuing him on his bike, eventually using a forest trail as a shortcut. Back home, upset by her husband's actions, Melinda begins packing, but Trixie defiantly throws her mother's suitcase into the pool, not wanting to depart. In the forest, as Don attempts to send a text to his wife while driving, Vic appears on the road, causing Don to swerve, which results in a fatal crash. With a sigh of relief, Vic departs the scene. Upon reaching home, Melinda meets him with a gaze, remarking that she encountered Tony before heading indoors. Later, Melinda burns Tony's possessions, signifying her decision to stand by her husband and keep his secret. If you are interested in such films, please proceed to the next video on the screen and also share your thoughts about this film in the comments. Give us a like and subscribe. Goodbye.